Hey there, Luke here from Beckman Ready, where we help prepare you for the bumps, roadblocks, and emergencies that life throws your way. On this channel, we focus on pro tips, tricks, strategies, tools, and easy to digest information to help you prepare for life's emergencies. In this video, we're going to focus on wildfires and where do they happen. So let's get started. Where do wildfires happen? If you live in an area that's hot, dry, windy, or has lots of plants, well, you're probably going to have a lot of wildfires. Now, when I say plants, I mean trees, grass, bushes, shrubs. It could kind of be anything. The hot and dry part, well, that's going to dry out the plants. The windy part, well, that's going to provide more oxygen for fires that do burn, and it's probably going to burn the fires faster. Geographically speaking, well, fires usually happen out west in the United States, and that also includes Alaska and Hawaii, but fires also happen in the southeast. The state best known for wildfires is California. Now, there are about 4.5 million homes in the United States that are at high or extreme wildfire risk, and about 2 million of those 4.5 million homes are in California, so almost 50%. So when we think about the state that is sort of the most known for wildfires and that might have some of the most destructive wildfires, it's California. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of forests, there's a lot of fires, and when something happens in California, there's a lot of press coverage around it. When you look at states that have a high percentage of homes that are at risk for wildfire, Idaho and Montana are high on that list, where 30% of homes are at high or extreme wildfire risk. Now, if we focus in on not just the state or the part of the country, but really the areas where wildfires happen, it's that mix of where the wildland comes in contact with what's urban. And we call that the wildland-urban interface, or the WUI, the W-U-I. So it's a weird name, but WUI it is. And so what we're looking at is, if a wildfire burns up in the hills, that's one thing, and the air quality might not be good. But as soon as it starts encroaching on or burning closer to homes and where we have property and where we have buildings, then that's where we start to worry and really respond. Because we're not so much trying to stop the wildfires, but we're trying to direct them to keep them from hitting human areas. Now, I've got two really good sites for you that can help you understand wildfire risk a little bit better. The first is iii.org, letter I 3 times, so iii.org. And in the upper right-hand corner, search for wildfire facts. And you're going to find some really powerful data, facts, information, and costs of wildfire response. The second site I want you to take a look at is wildfirerisk.org/explore. Now, there's all kinds of great stuff on this site, and we're actually going to dive into the site so you can see what you can do and how you can understand your wildfire risk. So let's take a look. Here we are at wildfirerisk.org. We want to know where fires happen, so let's explore. We'll click Explore in the middle, and we get a search bar where we can search by state, county, or community. We're going to start by state so you can just generally see where the country is with respect to wildfires and where they happen. We've got a lot of red out west, not a whole lot in the central part of the country or in the northeast or on the east coast. We've got some red in the southeast there in Florida, and there's also, if I zoom out, you can see red in Alaska, and there's also some red in Hawaii. But let's zoom in. I've got a lot of red here in California. So let's take a look at a specific county in California. We're going to look at Lake County, California. Here we see it's a county, not a community. And there's a whole bunch of communities in Lake County. Let's pretend like we live in this community, Clear Lake. We're on the risk to homes section. Populated areas in Lake County have, on average, greater risk than 81% of counties in California. So we're pretty high risk here. Population is indicated by these circles, more population, bigger circles. So we see Lake County, not a whole lot of people here. What's this big one? Yep, that's Los Angeles, but less risk to home in LA. And you can see even in one county, the whole place isn't even red or dark red. So there's even some orange and some yellow. Red and dark red is higher or extreme risk. Orange is medium risk, and that yellow and white, that's your lower risk. On this graph, again, this is consequence versus likelihood. So how bad are fires and how likely are they? So Lake County is getting up there, but it's not a Calaveras County and it's not a Mariposa County. Let's look at exposure type. This is basically asking, are fires going to start with flammable vegetation, meaning trees, plants, bushes, shrubs, and burn the houses, or would it be a house-to-house kind of burn? And so this red here is direct exposure. So that makes sense. It's up in the hills. That orange is indirect exposure, and that's where we have more of those populated areas. So you can kind of see where the population is with this. Wildfire likelihood shows us just one axis here. Most likely fires in Trinity County, least likely in San Francisco, a big city, and Imperial, which is out generally in the desert. So we've got our likelihood here. Not a whole lot of fire that actually burns in Clear Lake, but these hills, yep, that's going to affect a lot of people. Vulnerable populations. We can see here are 6 vulnerable population categories, and we also have from the census the population of Lake County. So the latest count had 64,000 people in Lake County, and in each of these categories we can see how many people fall into one of these categories. So almost 14,000 people in Lake County are over 65 years old, and that is almost 22% of the county. So you can get a sense of how vulnerable a county is. It doesn't give us this information at the community level, this neighborhood, but doing it at the county is very helpful. If you have any questions about what any of this means, the glossary up here on the right gives you all of the different terminologies, and you can go ahead and see, well, show me what does people over 65 mean. You can also download data. So if you're a data geek, you can get mapping data and you can see data from tables, but we're going to actually focus over here on the left, which is how can my community take action? You can find ways to reduce your risk. If I click on this, I'm now in a different section of the site, which is on reducing risk, not exploring, but there's some really great, helpful, practical, actionable information here on how you can reduce your risk. We hope you found that walkthrough helpful. If it was, go ahead and click like or subscribe. We've got a lot more content coming out to help you, your friends, your neighbors, your family prepare for wildfires. We're going to be giving you practical, actionable content coming right to you. So thanks for being with us today, and we hope to see you real soon.